Who is in charge of overseeing the service of the Merarites? This is the question that we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of Numbers on Walking Through the Bible.
His word, the glory of His cross.
If you have a Bible with you, you can turn to Numbers chapter 4. We're going to be reading from verses 29 to 33. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So, Numbers chapter 4, beginning of verse 29. As for the sons of Merari, you shall number them by their families and by their father's house. From 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, you shall number them. Everyone who enters the service to do the work of the tabernacle of meeting. And this is what they must carry as all their service for the tabernacle of meeting. The boards of the tabernacle, its bars, its pillars, its sockets, and the pillars around the court with their sockets, pegs, and cords, with all their furnishings and all their service. And you shall assign to each man by name the items he must carry. This is the service of the families of the sons of Merari, and as all their service for the tabernacle of meeting, under the authority of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest. In this chapter, we've been discussing the duties that the Levites had concerning the tabernacle. Aaron and his sons served as priests. However, there was much more work to be done, especially when the children of Israel were on the move in the wilderness. That's because the tabernacle would need to be set up and set down. While the priests oversaw this process, the three families of the Levites were responsible for actually transporting the tabernacle. The Kohathites were responsible for the holy things of the tabernacle. This included the Ark of the Covenant, the golden candlestick, the table of showbread, and the two altars, as well as all the utensils that went with them. Once the priests had properly covered these items, the Kohathites would carry these items on their shoulders using the staves that had been made for that purpose. Eleazar, the son of Moses, was responsible for overseeing this process. The Gershonites were then responsible for the coverings of the actual tabernacle and the coverings of the court of the tabernacle. Once the holy things were removed from the tabernacle, they would come in and properly fold and remove these coverings for transport. This was a large task simply because of the sheer size of the tabernacle and the court. Ithamar, the son of Aaron, was responsible for overseeing this process. After the coverings of the tabernacle and the court had been removed, what was left was the skeleton of the tabernacle of meeting. As you can see on the screen, this would have included all of the posts and footings of the court, and posts, footings, and bars of the tabernacle. The posts of the court were 7.5 feet tall and made of acacia wood, overlaid with bronze according to our study of Exodus, meaning that they were quite heavy. The skeleton of the tabernacle was 15 feet tall and made of acacia wood, as well as being connected together by bars. Sockets were placed in the ground in order to keep the structure from falling. The Merarites were responsible for deconstructing and constructing the tabernacle and the court and transporting all those items. That is why, again, even though the family of Merari was numbered at 6,200, only those who were between 30 and 50 were required for the service of the tabernacle here. Of the three families' duties for the tabernacle, this seems to be the most labor-intensive and in many regards the most important. Think about it for a moment. If the structure of the tabernacle is not properly built, the structure will fall over in the wind or any other adverse weather. This might have exposed the holy things of the tabernacle to the elements, which in turn would have displeased God. Why was the families of Merari chosen for this task? The text does not say, but perhaps they contained skilled carpenters among their numbers, as such would be needed in this work. From chapter 10, we find that the Merarites and the Gershonites would travel behind the camp of Judah when Israel marched, while the Kohathites would travel behind the camp of Reuben, due to the fact that the tabernacle needed to be built so that they could receive the holy things. Thus, separating the families of the Levites would give the houses of Gershon and Merari time to do this. Like it was with the coverings of the tabernacle, we don't know how long it would take to construct and deconstruct the tabernacle's skeleton, but needless to say, it wasn't a half-hour job. However, there would be enough people to be able to do the work efficiently. And like it was with the Gershonites, specific people would be chosen to do this service so that it would be done in an orderly fashion. This too would be done under the direction of Ithamar, son of Aaron. Now, why would Ithamar be given authority over 2 families, while Eleazar, the older brother, being given authority over 1? Well, the first reason is because there were only 2 priests under Aaron, yet 3 families. Aaron, as high priest, had his own tasks to do, and thus wouldn't be given charge over the construction and deconstruction of the tabernacle. Had Nadab and Abihu been alive, I'm sure that they would have had duties to do as well, but alas, they were dead, so accommodations needed to be made. And since chapter 10 would show that the 3 families of the Levites were split up during the marching of Israel, it would thus make sense that Ithamar, who had been given authority to oversee the coverings of the tabernacle, would be given authority to oversee the construction of the skeleton that would hold those coverings, leaving Eleazar to remain with the Kohathites and the holy things which traveled on behind. In our next lesson, we will learn how many of these families were numbered to be in service to the tabernacle. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, I hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Numbers chapter 4, verses 34 to 41, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.